My sister saved the day by setting a trap for my girlfriend to prove she's a cheater. So, we planned a gathering to embarrass her in front of everyone. I'd been with Mad for 3 years. We met through a friend at a birthday party. We clicked quickly, and things were good for a while. Not perfect, nothing is, but we were good. We laughed a lot. We traveled when we could. We argued sometimes, sure, but there was never anything that made me doubt her. Until recently. The first person to start raising red flags wasn't a stranger. It was my older sister, Leah. Leah is 29, very perceptive, and doesn't like games. She's direct, sometimes too much, but always honest. She's seen me heartbroken by past relationships, so I figured her attitude towards Mad was just overprotective. From the first time they met, Leah had a look that I wouldn't say was mean, but reserved. Later that night, she pulled me aside and said she felt something was off about her. At the time, I thought Maddie was just nervous or trying too hard to make a good impression. Over time, she kept pointing out little things. Leah said she saw her laughing and playfully tapping a guy's arm at a party when I'd gone out to smoke. I said, "That's just Maddie, she's friendly." Leah rolled her eyes and said, "There's friendly and there's flirting." Do you not see the difference because you don't want to? I started paying more attention after that, to see it for myself. I didn't want to admit it, but Leah wasn't completely wrong. There was one night we were with a group of friends, including a couple of people Maddie had never met. One guy, let's call him Jordan, was clearly interested in her. He complimented her dress, joked about her smile. Mad laughed. That was the first time I felt a spark of something ugly in my chest. A week later, Leah mentioned it again. She'd come with us to a bar and was mostly quiet all night. Afterwards, she said, "That girl's just waiting for a chance to cheat. You can see it in the way she soaks up male attention like it's oxygen." I asked what she meant. Leah shrugged and said, "She's keeping her options open, whether she knows it or not. Watch her face when a handsome guy walks in. See where her body turns. She's always scanning, always responding." I hated that I couldn't argue with her, because she seemed to be right. Still, I didn't want to accuse Matt of anything without proof. I mean, if I did, I'd be that guy, the insecure boyfriend snooping through his girlfriend's phone, and now I'd be called toxic. But the more I paid attention, the more things didn't sit right with me. Like how Maddie never introduced me when a guy came up to talk to her. She'd just laugh and talk while I stood there like I was invisible, or how she always kept her phone face down, or how she suddenly started going out more often for girls' nights when she used to hate bars unless I was with her. Then, last week, I finally said something. We were watching TV on the couch, and she got a text that made her smile. She didn't show me what it was, just said, "It's just my coworker being silly." Then she put her phone away. I said, "Can I ask you something without you getting mad?" She tensed up right away. "Depends what it is." I said, "Do you think you're sometimes a little flirty with other guys, even if you don't mean to be?" She laughed. "Where's this coming from?" I said, "I've noticed some things, like at the bar, how guys behave around you, how you never really shut it down." She was quiet, then said, "Let me guess, Leah's been talking again." I said, "She's just being protective, that's all." And then she exploded. Mad got up and started pacing. She said Leah had always hated her, had always tried to ruin our relationship, and that it was pathetic that I let her manipulate me. She said she was jealous because she was bitter and single and didn't want me to be happy, so now she was making up reasons to poison my mind. She didn't stop. She said I was insecure, projecting, didn't trust her, and let other people's opinions control how I saw her. She asked, "So, what is it? Do you think I'm a cheater because your sister says so?" I didn't know what to say. She grabbed her keys and left. She told me she needed space to think. That was 2 days ago. Now she barely texts me. When she does, it's dry, like I'm just an acquaintance she's already bored with. I have no proof, nothing concrete, no cheating, no messages I can point to and say, "Look, there it is." All I have is a gut feeling in my sister, who I know wouldn't lie to me. Update 1. It's been 4 days since Maddie stormed out. At first, I thought we just needed space. I didn't text her the first day, thinking she'd calm down and come back ready to talk. She didn't. The second day, I broke the silence with a simple, "You okay?" She replied 3 hours later. "Fine," I keep thinking. Since then, there's been total silence, except for one passive-aggressive text about how amazing it is that I trust my sister more than my girlfriend of 3 years. That was yesterday. I didn't reply. Meanwhile, something else has been going on. Something I didn't authorize, but didn't stop either. That night, Maddie left. I told Leah everything that had happened. Every word. From the nights at the bar to the text on the couch and the fight, I held nothing back and didn't sugarcoat anything. Then she just nodded and said, "She's hiding something, let me prove it." Turns out she'd already been planning something for a couple of months, long before I even suspected anything. Leah apparently created a fake Instagram account. Fake name, fake photos, fake job, the whole package. She made the guy exactly Mad's type, handsome but not too polished. Lots of gym photos, pictures with dogs, a couple of shots with expensive whiskey bottles, and captions like "earned, not given." You know, that guy just charming enough to seem real, just simple enough to seem legit. She didn't message Mad, she just silently followed her, and Mad followed back in 10 minutes. Leah didn't tell me any of this. She was waiting and watching. What made her act was the fight. The moment she knew Maddie had stormed off and was blaming everything on her, Leah decided it was time to move. So now there's a message in Mad's inbox from the fake account that says, "Saw you at insert bar we go to often. You looked amazing. Didn't want to interrupt, but had to say hi here." That's it. She replied in less than 20 minutes after the message was sent. I know because she already showed me the screen. She stared at me like she was going to tell me, "I told you so." The reply was, "Ha ha ha, no way. You should have said something. I don't bite much." It's not physical cheating, but it also doesn't seem like it's far off, because Mad could have ignored that message. She could have mentioned she has a boyfriend, but she didn't. Instead, she sent a message that sounded like someone single, someone open, someone available. Leah said, "Give me a few days, I'm going to see how far this goes. I'll bring you answers." Now we're in this limbo. Maddie barely talks to me. Leah keeps messaging her from the fake account, keeping it flirty but not explicit, letting Maddie take the lead. And the more Mad replies, the clearer it becomes. She really likes the attention. In fact, last night Mad asked, "So, do you go to that bar often, or were you just visiting?" Like she wanted to meet up in person. Leah hasn't replied yet. She's waiting for my call. She wants to go all in, set a date, a place, catch her in person, drop the trap. She's already involved 2 of her friends who know Mad casually to be there when it happens, just to be witnesses, so Maddie can't spin it afterward. All I can think about is how quickly Maddie took the bait, how easy it was for her to get involved, and how little she's talked to me in the days since. So, yeah. Maybe this isn't the healthiest way to get answers, but I'm not sure I care anymore. All I know is that if she agrees to meet this mystery guy in person, I'll be there, and she won't see it coming. Update 2. I've been sitting here for the last hour, going over everything in my head, trying to figure out how I feel about it. The truth is, I don't feel victorious. I don't feel like I've won, but I got what I wanted, and she got what she deserved. Let me back up a little. After my last update, Mad went silent for a few days. I didn't text her, and she didn't contact me, but she kept talking to Ryan, the fake guy Leah created for her. Actually, she was talking a lot. By the second day, it had gone from casual, flirty replies to a full-blown conversation. She even said, "You seem like someone who actually listens, haha," which felt like a personal attack. There were also little things. She was complaining about stress at home, even though we hadn't talked since the fight. She asked Ryan what bars he liked. She said she wanted a chill place to grab a drink without any drama. 3 years together, and she was talking like she was single and looking. That's when Leah decided it was time. She messaged Mad from Ryan's account saying, "Let's grab that drink on Saturday at that downtown bar." Mad replied in less than 5 minutes, "Yes, I'm free that night. See you there." She added a heart emoji. Leah gave me one last chance to back out. "If you'd rather just let it go," she said, "we'll delete everything. We'll pretend this never happened." I told her there's no turning back. The betrayal was already there. All that was left was to catch her. So we made a plan. Leah would go in first and sit at the bar. 2 of her friends would sit at a table nearby, one with a clear view of the door. I would arrive last and take the booth in the back, the one Maddie and I always used to use. It was poetic in a way. We also brought an envelope with printed screenshots of all the messages Mad had sent Ryan. We all wrote, "For Maddie," on the front in big black marker. Saturday arrived. I didn't eat all day. By 6:55, we were all in position. The bar was packed. A little after 7, she walked in. Hair done, a new outfit, heels, lip gloss, the kind of effort she hadn't made for me in months. She was smiling, looking around the place. When her eyes landed on Leah, her face immediately fell. Then she saw me. I watched her lose control in real time. Her face went through confusion, panic, and then rage. Leah stood up and walked toward her slowly. She didn't say anything, just handed her the envelope and walked away. Mad looked down, opened it, and started flipping through the pages. Her hands started shaking. She turned to me and said loudly, "Are you serious right now?" I didn't reply. She kept going. "This is insane. You guys are psychopaths." Everyone was watching us. Now one of Leah's friends stood up and said, "No, you're just a cheater who got caught." Mad laughed and said, "Oh my God, this is pathetic. It was just harmless flirting. Nothing happened." I finally spoke. "But it would have happened. That's the point." She went silent, then exploded, threw the chair next to her, yelled that I was crazy, that my sister had always hated her, that I needed therapy for being so insecure. Leah stepped in and said, "You made plans to meet up with a guy you thought was someone else. That's not insecurity. That's showing your true self." Mad pointed at me and screamed, "You've been obsessed with ruining me since day one. Congratulations, you won. You finally turned him against me." I stood up and said, "You did it to yourself." She grabbed the envelope, ripped it in half, threw it on the floor, and stormed out of the bar. One of Leah's friends offered to buy me a drink. I said no. I walked home alone that night. Leah offered to come with me, but I told her I needed space, because as satisfying as it was to expose Mad, it also felt awful. I'd been betrayed. She hasn't contacted me since, and I don't think she's even sorry, just embarrassed that she got caught. Anyway, that's how it happened, and I don't think I'll ever trust someone like that again. Update 3. It's been a few weeks since that night at the bar, since everything fell apart in a single hour. After Maddie left, I didn't hear from her. She disappeared like a ghost. She took the rest of her stuff from the apartment while I was at work and left the key on the kitchen counter. Nothing else, not even a note. I thought that was it. Clean break, messy truth, but at least I got out before things got worse. I blocked her on everything, unfollowed mutual friends, and stopped looking at her social media. I didn't want to fall into that spiral. Leah's been checking in on me every few days, mostly to make sure I'm still eating and sleeping. She's been a good sister. Better than that, honestly. She saved me from wasting even more time with someone who clearly didn't respect me. Things started to calm down, and I got back into my routine. I wasn't okay, but I was functioning. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was how everything else now felt so fake. The "I love yous." But now I know they were faker than a $3 bill. Then, out of nowhere, I got a message on a fake Instagram account. No name, no profile picture, just a short message that said Maddie was pregnant. And it was mine. At first, I thought it was a joke. It was Mad getting revenge, some scam, or maybe someone trolling, but it didn't take long to realize who was behind it. The timing, the words, it was obvious. I didn't reply right away. I gave myself a day. Let my mind process what that could mean. The reality didn't fully hit me until she started sending proof, a photo of a test, some vague timelines, all of it screaming half-truths, wrapped in panic. Eventually, I replied to the message, not because I wanted to talk to Mad, but because if there was even a small chance it was true, I needed clarity. She didn't offer any, just said she thought I deserved to know, and acted like the whole cheating incident was a misunderstanding or something blown out of proportion. She didn't ask how I felt about the pregnancy. She didn't care about what the cheating did to me. She only cared about making sure she was still connected to me, trapped. She couldn't manipulate anything anymore, so she resorted to using the one thing that could force me to stay tied to her, a potential child. I shut it down immediately. I told her that if this was real, we'd handle it through the proper channels. Paternity test, legal arrangements. No back and forth, no emotional manipulation. There would be no relationship, just facts and responsibility. Leah was furious when I told her, angry on my behalf. She had seen this coming from the start. If Mad didn't get her way, she'd find another way to stay involved. This was her last chance. I haven't told my parents or anyone else besides Leah. I don't need to if none of this is true. There are too many things still up in the air. If she's pregnant and it's mine, I'll take care of what I need to. But not with her. Not in the way she expects. She lost all trust the moment she thought it was okay to test my boundaries like that. Even if it didn't become physical, the intent was enough. I've read some people say I'm an idiot for not taking the pregnancy seriously. It doesn't make sense. I've been getting a lot of DMs and comments, accusing me of being irresponsible or insensitive for not running to Maddie's side if she's pregnant. I get it. If someone thinks there's a child involved, emotions run high quickly. I'm not ignoring that possibility. I'm just being smart about how I handle it. Let me be completely clear. If this pregnancy is real and the child is biologically mine, I'm not running from it. I would never abandon a child I helped bring into this world. I was raised better than that, and it's not who I am. I don't care how broken the relationship with Maddie is. A child would change things. Not in the sense that we'd get back together because that ship has sailed, but it would definitely make me responsible in every legal, financial, and emotional aspect that I should be. But I'm also not going to take her word as truth. Why? Because this news didn't come in a phone call, a conversation, or even from her real number. It came from a fake Instagram account. No name, no picture, no real context. Just a blurry photo of a test and some cryptic messages about how it's mine. And this is weeks after we cut contact following a situation where she tried to hook up with someone she thought was a complete stranger, but turned out to be my sister pretending to be someone else to prove a point. So yeah, I'm going to have some doubts. Then there's the fact that she made no effort to clarify details, schedule a conversation, or offer anything real beyond a few vague photos. It felt less like a real conversation and more like an attempt to pull me back into her orbit. And I refuse to be emotionally manipulated into a situation unless I know the whole truth. The only thing I've made clear to her is that if she believes I'm the father, we need to go through the proper channels, just facts. That's not shirking responsibility. That's protecting my sanity while ensuring the truth comes out the right way. I've already wasted years of my life on this relationship. I'm not going to let myself be dragged back into this over a message I don't even know is real. So for everyone calling me an idiot, I'm not denying the possibility. I'm not ignoring it. I'm just not going to pretend that everything she says is automatically the truth, especially after what just happened. If there's a child, I'll be there, but not on her terms, on honest terms. Update 4. I addressed it in my last update and made it clear I wasn't going to play along unless she wanted to do things the right way. I never heard anything else. I honestly thought that was it. But like every bad horror movie villain, she popped up again. This happened a little over a week ago. I was out with some friends at a local food festival, totally public, full of people, open space, safe, and suddenly Maddie's in front of me. She seemed calm, put together. She didn't cause a scene. I'll give her that. What she did do was try to start a calm conversation. She tried to talk like we were just two people who'd hit a bump in the road. She asked if we could talk in private, that there were some things she needed to tell me. I just turned around, told my friends to stay there, and walked straight into the crowd. I refused to give her even 5 seconds of access. She followed me for a bit, tried to call my name. I didn't hear anything else from her. Leah was the first person I called. She was proud. People asked me in earlier updates if I felt guilty, if I thought what I did at the bar was too much. I don't regret it, because nothing I did came from a place of malice. It came from a place of needing the truth. Leah gave me the tools to get that clarity. Some of our mutual friends quietly cut ties with her. Some tried to stay neutral, but eventually disappeared. I didn't ask them to take sides. I don't care anymore. That's the freedom I forgot existed. I've completely cut contact, blocked her on everything, and also made it clear to my friends that if she ever tries to contact me again, I don't want to know anything about it. That part of my life is closed, like a locked room. I don't thank Maddie for anything, but I thank Leah and my friends who supported me. She tried to play me, my sister outsmarted her, and I appreciate her more than I can express. Edit. There's one last thing I want to add. It's not dramatic or anything, but I felt like it was right to include it, since a lot of people have been asking if I'm okay, if I've moved on. The answer is I'm doing okay. Interestingly, that girl I mentioned a while back, the one who offered me a sympathy drink after Maddie stormed out of the bar, we've actually been talking a bit. Nothing serious. She's been really good with everything. She's been an ear for me to talk about everything that's happened. Sometimes that's all you need. Someone who doesn't want to fix things, just let you decompress while you sort everything out for yourself. She knows I'm still trying to sort my thoughts and isn't trying to rush anything, and honestly, that's exactly what I need right now. We've gone for a couple of walks, grabbed some food a couple of times, and we text every now and then. She has a calm, no-pressure vibe that makes things feel normal again, which I didn't realize how much I missed. Plus, she's a woman who thinks what Maddie did was wrong, which is already a good sign. Imagine, I've received comments here from girls who thought what she did was okay. As for Leah, we're good, better than we've been in years. I thanked her and told her she saved me from wasting even more time with someone who didn't deserve it. She just said she'd always had my back and was happy I finally saw what she saw. We've been spending more time together lately, dinners, catching up on old movies and stuff. She's one of the few people who's always been there, even when I was too stubborn to listen. Take care of yourselves and trust your gut, especially when your sister says something's not right. Update 5. I've been getting comments and private messages asking what happened with Maddie's supposed pregnancy. Since she didn't reply and refused to follow the proper channels, I assumed it was a lie and left it at that. Well, the pregnancy wasn't a lie, and I'm just as surprised as you guys are. But I'd be lying if I said I was surprised to learn she's not pregnant with my kid. I haven't taken a test, but I don't need one with everything that's happened with her. I know I told my friends I didn't want to know anything more about Mad, but when a friend comes to you and says, "You need to know this," I figured it was important. Maddie is pregnant, but by another man who I don't know who is. I've been told his name, but I don't recognize it. Anyway, knowing who isn't what's important. What's important is that she's sure he's the father, and that man is too. I don't know why they're sure before a paternity test, but it's not my problem. But from what I've been told, he has a similar plan to mine. He's only going to take care of the baby, but that's it. And now Mad is stuck with a baby because enough weeks have passed that she can't have an abortion. She ruined her life by going out to parties, but at least she didn't ruin mine. If my sister hadn't planned that trap, today I might be thinking that baby could be mine, but I managed to escape just in time. Before I say goodbye to all of you, because I don't think I'll have any more updates, I want to ask you a question. What do you think would be a good gift for my sister? She likes video games and is a bit of a geek. It has to be a gift worthy of what she helped me with. So I'll read your ideas. To the rest, thank you for reading my story and supporting me in one way or another. Edit. From what I've learned, the baby is from the man we talked about earlier.